So what's going on, man? I'm gonna check what episode of the podcast we're on. I'm pretty sure we're on
18?
episode 18 right now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are on 18. Very nice, man.
Yeah.
Um, so what's going on, dude? I haven't been seeing you in the stream as much. I know you've been busy at work, and I also know that you haven't been playing PUBG as much. So what's going on? You've been really busy, life and stuff going on?
Yeah. Work has been really busy. So it's been extremely busy, to be honest with you. A
Yeah.
little overly stressful. So
Dang, that stinks, man.
yeah. I know. I mean, I played PUBG last night. And
Did you?
I did.
Oh,
I
that's
played
right. We,
last
we
night
were
and the
we.
night before.
I was on.
Last
I was
night.
on, but we were in two separate parties because there were so many people online.
Yeah. And then you played the other night. We didn't play together. So
Yeah, I
whatever.
guess I
Yeah,
just
I've
haven't
been on
played
last
with
2
you.
nights.
Okay. It's been a
And I
while
think I
since we
played
played.
Saturday night. I don't
Hmm.
remember.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I mean, I haven't. There was a couple during the week I wasn't playing much. Like, I try not to play too much during the week.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I guess a lot of times because I'm playing, so much during the day, and I get a little bit burnt out, and then I end up not really playing with you guys. But I'm
Yeah.
happy I've been streaming a lot still during like the 1 to 5 time or noon to 5 time because I feel like that's been working out
Mhm.
pretty well. But the
Yeah.
nighttime, I've streamed at night a couple times, but the night streams like people in the UK are already sleeping, and I feel like a lot of people watch in the UK, so it's like I feel like it doesn't
Yeah.
work out as much. But it is what it
Yeah.
is.
I got you. I just feel like I'm never at my desk sometimes. It's like I'm always up and down, so I never can like sit down and like
Yeah, no, I totally get that, man. Yeah. I was just wondering. I'm not putting you on the spot. I just like I know for
putting
there's
me on the news.
It's the good old Cypher 5. So let's see. I actually was like thinking, what are we going to talk about today? And there's actually a bunch of things to talk about. There's always something going on PUBG related. So,
Yeah,
and we can talk about the
something
April
related.
Fool's Day prank, but I don't want to make that too long because I think it was already pretty played out. But I figure we should just start with that if you're cool. That was patch 27A that PUBG put out. And this is pretty cool because obviously, who knew this was going to happen, but they put out, I'm glad they did something. I think it's fun when companies get involved in this stuff. So they put out
Mhm.
fake patch notes, and then they also used Wacky Jackie, who's like one of the biggest PUBG content creators out there.
Yeah.
They're partnered with him. They make skins for him. They're making another skin. Like they obviously have a partnership. There is a PUBG partnership that you can sign up for, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You need like 100,000 subscribers, and you need to post like X amount of PUBG content like a month to be part of it. And
Oh,
so
really? So
yeah,
you're not there yet.
no, unfortunately, no. I'm a couple hundred subs away, I think, but yeah, I'm still pretty far. Kidding, but so he put out a video like simultaneously, like going. He always like goes over the patch notes, so he like went over the patch notes, and it was like funny because there's like ridiculous shit going on, like the moon map, all the snipe rifles are auto. Like there was so much ridiculous stuff, and some of it was just pretty funny, man. The more you read into it, there was like some little details that I missed that were just hilarious, like animals being added to the maps and stuff like that, like bears on Erangel. So then I subsequently decided to stream, and there was a level 4 helmet which was like a pan over the guy's head. So I ended up streaming the entire day with like a pan on my head, and people were coming into the stream asking about the moon map, and I think most people immediately got it, but there was legitimately probably like a couple dozen people that came in like really confused, and I would say there was probably a dozen people who like legitimately left the stream, maybe even more than that, thinking that it was a real update, and then they asked me the next stream like, so that was a joke yesterday, and like they had no idea. It was really funny. So like that was definitely pretty hilarious that people didn't pick up on that. I mean, some of the stuff I get, the moon map is actually believable, but then if you were to read the patch notes, you would 100% know, hopefully, that it was a joke. But
Yeah. So
some people,
I like read the first part and I was like moon map and I was like, get the fuck out of here. At first I was like, at first I believed it. Then I was like, wait, I didn't get to read all the patch notes. And I was just like, they can't be doing that. And I was like, God damn it.
yeah. But people were triggered, dude. People
I
were
was triggered for a
immediately
minute.
triggered.
I was like, you're gonna make another map. Honestly, they could have made any map. I would have been triggered.
That's funny, dude. I definitely think they're probably secretly working on another map. Obviously, at some
They probably
point,
are because they don't have any other fucking ideas.
But-
They're run out of ideas, bro.
But what was I gonna say? It was I don't know, I lost my train of thought. Something about that patch, but it ended up, I don't know, I thought it was really funny and creative that they did it. And obviously, I think some of these companies get a lot of like negative feedback, but they just kind of like push through it. And yeah, I forget where I was gonna go with that, but
I mean, they definitely have a lot of negative feedback because
Yeah.
they do some really dumb shit.
yeah, occasionally,
It's like believable that they'd be making another map though, and it's just like you don't need to make another map.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I would eventually like to see another map, to be honest with you, but
Eventually, but not now. We just got one a couple months ago. I think that
yeah,
revamping Aaron
yeah,
Gall
hmm
and making it that like I had suggested, I guess, just to you, but like
yeah.
if you could, they could make it like a map of the month that was like highlighted. That'd be cool.
Yeah, and the reason why you're talking about that is because on console we can't select maps right now, and it's just
And yeah, and it's just
Vikendi or standard, which is the original three, or all four together. So really, you have like Vikendi map select, and I guess that would be
Mhm.
nice. I guess if they just had like the map of the month or of the week or something, map of the week, and then you
Yeah,
played that. That
that
would
was
kind of make
yeah.
sense because you wouldn't want to do like maybe a month, but a map of the week would make sense. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Then they'd have to update it every week and they'd break the game every week. So,
Possibly, possibly.
so
Yeah, and I guess before we get too far into stuff too, there's so much to talk about. It's kind of crazy PUBG wise that today the Survivor Pass is ending, so that got extended.
yeah, again,
And just for a little bit, yeah, it was supposed to end on the 2nd, April 2nd, and it got extended until tonight. It's actually just ended a half hour ago, so when you guys are listening to this, it'll be over. But what's really confusing, a lot of people are asking me questions about it, like even on Xbox right now, like an hour ago, is that the timer still says like 6 days or whatever. So that's actually when the pass is ending on the 9th. So I guess it says probably 5 days, but so then after the 9th, you won't be able to claim any rewards or anything. But right now, you can no longer gain XP, and that's only on console. If you guys are PC players, obviously you've already moved on to Survivor Pass number 3, which is called Wildcard. And there's a video out on my channel for anybody interested that goes over all of the new content that's going to be available in Wildcard, which is pretty cool. New skins, first G36C skin, ton of cool stuff, new emotes, like if you guys are into that stuff, backpack skins for every console or every platform. So some of that stuff looks pretty cool if you're into that. And I guess that puts us up to date. And then last, the console, if you're on console, the Survivor season rank, which is your ranking if you go into the season part of the menu, that has been extended till May 7th. And I think we went over that maybe last time. I forget on the previous podcast, but I'm not really sure.
I think we did. I can't remember now.
Yeah, we might have. So all of that is going on, and then yesterday when we were streaming, Scooby, me and Scooby were playing. Shout out to him, and he went to the store and he noticed there was a skin in the store that's like hasn't been announced yet. It was a PP19 Bison skin called the Gorilla skin. It had like a kind of jungle themed skin with it was pretty cool, and he bought it and he's like, dude, I can't put it on my gun. That's weird. I'm like, oh, dude, I bet that like slipped out because a lot of times PUBG will go in and update the game and they had to push the they extended the pass and they put it in the background and they hide it. And this must have slipped out. So actually today it was gone. So like he bought it and it's gone. So that's kind of funny. So I don't know, but I guess they're getting ready for a new update. A lot of people are speculating that the next update is going to be around May 7th or after that because that's when the season is ending, and then they'll maybe put us up to date and update us. I think we're a couple of updates behind, so I really feel like they're going to probably merge a bunch of the updates. Like there's a new vehicle on Vikendi on PC. The MP5 is out. A couple other things that I kind of forget about now because there's been so many updates. But we're actually technically 2 or 3 updates behind PC at this point, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is a little weird. I mean, we've always been like, it's like we do one massive update to catch up and then we fall behind. Like they could just
Massively.
push updates faster to
Yeah, it almost seems like
faster.
Yeah, totally. They like just do everything and then they're like, okay, we're not going to talk to Xbox and PlayStation for like 2 months and then we'll update everything.
We're the redheaded stepchilds. It's okay.
Yeah, they really don't update anything too. It's just crazy. Like I can't believe that so many people are confused about like the Survivor Pass thing, timing, like the calendar. It's just such a cluster F, and they really don't communicate a lot with console. So
they never have done a good job with it. But
yeah, it is what it is. You can tell. I mean, their primary focus is still on PC, and that definitely shows in like multiple ways. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm sure there's just like way more, obviously, like volume of people playing it, especially in other countries, compared to the US.
But I think if they spent more time on Xbox and console, like people would come back and play more. I think a lot of people are getting frustrated. It even sounded like Day and some people were saying like, dude, I don't want to spend any more money in the game. It's like pissing me off how they don't fix it. And then
I agree.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of like twofold though, because like if you don't support the game, then they're not going to fix it and then it's going to die. So like, I mean, then again, it's like not our fault that the game's broken. So if you want to move on, move on. But the game to me is still so much fun. And I feel like what's the worst is that like me and you play on the SSD and like seeing people, someone put together a compilation video of like why they're not playing PUBG anymore because of like how bad it loads and stuff and all the issues. And seeing it on the OG Xbox, again, all the Play-Doh buildings was like, dude, that was the worst playing PUBG back then. Like back last April, PUBG was in its like worst form when I just started playing with you guys. It was such a joke. It was like all broken and such a disaster.
Yeah. It still is a joke.
I don't know, man. To me, if you have the SSD, it's not a joke. I think it plays pretty well, but there still is a lot of issues that should be fixed.
Well,
it's
a
point.
joke in the fact that like other people don't have an SSD and they're flying through the map, and you're like trying to play.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it just makes it like totally unappealing sometimes when you're getting shot. Like people running through the buildings and walls, and you know, you're still, because you have the more expensive console and you want to spend more money to dedicate to gaming. You get screwed over. You know what I mean? It's like the opposite effect almost. Like,
yeah, and you shouldn't have to spend more money just to play PUBG one game. That's not really fair.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
just
true.
Funny because usually you spend more money, get a better gaming PC, and you have better like frame rates, all this stuff. Like in console, you have a better Xbox and SSD and stuff, and you just get screwed over because some dude ran through a wall and got a gun before you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just annoying.
Yeah, of course. That definitely is annoying, and I get that. I guess what I was trying to say is that I kind of forget about that people are still dealing with that, and that's probably why people are not playing. And I think the majority of people like don't have an SSD. The reason why so many of us do is because we're pretty hardcore into it. If you watch this podcast or listen to this podcast or watch the stream, like you guys are pretty hardcore into PUBG to be like, listening to this stuff. So I feel like also like it's kind of like because I'm so entrenched in like the PUBG community, like everyone knows about SSD, but then the average person like definitely does not have that, or why would you,
Yeah, no, I mean, it's expensive to go out and buy one if you're not playing a lot,
Yeah, that too. If you don't play the game a lot, like you could just go play Apex for free, right? So why deal with like PUBG and then the issues?
Being
like
broken as hell. You can go out and buy $100 SSD so you can play the game. It's just, Mark was playing with us last night, Spain, and he fell through the castle, dude. And he has an Xbox One X, he was saying.
That is crazy. That is absolutely nuts that even without the SSD, the Xbox One X, which is the premium console, still has issues. I feel like there's something wrong that it should be able to run on the One X, like perfectly fine at this point.
I really think that we don't hear about, I don't know, maybe we just, since we don't play on PS4, but like I feel like you don't hear about these issues on PS4, but I just think the player base is really small on PS4.
I think the issues actually, unfortunately, are a little bit less there, but I think you're right about that too. I think the player base on PS4 is less, so like, and the community is already pretty built up on Xbox, like the forums and stuff like that. And I feel like, but who knows? I mean, I don't have any proof of that, but it seems like that's the case.
I don't know how it could be less, dude. I mean.
I think they said it has like less issues, at least with Vikendi and stuff too. Oh. So
Dude. I don't
salty.
know, man. Yeah, I'm salty. I was kind of like not playing a little bit because I was just like fed up with it too. I was just like, this is just something's got to give here, man.
Yeah. I guess my take has been like I've been playing so much recently that I guess since I got back from vacation again, I've been like playing so much and it's been working pretty well for me. So I guess it's like selfish, but at a personal standpoint, I was getting so many wins. I've been like really enjoying the game, but I recognize that like it's annoying. But for me, I've actually been having like right now, I feel like I just hit like a point where I'm like, okay, now I'm like curious what's gonna happen here. Now that like the pass is over and like other games are out, and I can like kind of tell the community is slowing down, but I've had a lot of fun the past 2 weeks, like gaming a lot post vacation.
Yeah, stuff. I mean, dude, the game is a ton of fun. It's just annoying when you play with all the when you play with the issues, but yeah. It is what it is. We don't need to just bash it the whole time, I think.
No, but I guess we can. True, but we can go into this. So this is interesting. I had a scheduled upload for tonight. It just went live like 20 minutes ago. Ooh. And this video is called "What's Wrong with Vikendi?" I don't know. It's hard. What's crazy is like the title of your video can really make a big difference, and you don't want to make it clickbait. But I thought about making it like "Something's Wrong with Vikendi" or potential Vikendi changes. I don't know what the more clickable title is. Maybe, you guys could tell me, but there was a post yesterday So I was like hanging out just like on Twitter. I've been using Twitter a lot more too since I've been like into like social media and stuff. I mean, and YouTubing. And I've always liked Twitter, but you know, I mentioned this in the past. But anyways, I was scrolling through Twitter and I follow like a lot of PUBG people. PUBG Hawkins is one of the community managers for PUBG on PC. And he put out a tweet saying like, hey, we noticed that Vikendi was really popular on release, but the play rate has like dwindled down, and it's like one of the lower played maps on PC because, you know, they have individual map selection.
Yeah.
So they're saying that I think he hinted here that it's either dwindled the fastest or it's like the lowest played map right now. He didn't really give information on it. So he said, what's your main reason on like why you haven't been enjoying Vikendi? And he put a couple options, and people are saying we need more options. So they made a Reddit post with about like a dozen options. I got to try to find this Reddit post if I can.
Really?
Yeah, so I thought it was interesting. The reason why I was like, oh, wow, this is just weird timing is because I've been talking with a lot of people, like me and Day Day and a Box of Ducks were playing, and we were all saying that, like, oh, this map is so sweet, but, like, it gets so old really, really fast. Like, playing it multiple times in a row is really annoying.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know why, too. I think that's a general consensus.
Yeah, it's like a general consensus. And then looking at the community here on Reddit and then on Twitter, and the fact that like the PUBG community manager is like acknowledging it, I think like it's not just us, it's like everyone has the same feeling. So I just thought it was interesting. So then I was like reading through this to see like what is it? And on the Twitter poll, the main reason was the options were visibility issues, that nobody really cared about that. Poor loot, that was kind of low too. And on PC, people were complaining, I guess Vikendi has the lowest frame rate, but 52% of the votes went to boring circles, in that like the circle is too centered and it goes like the same place. And then and then they had like a more elaborate one. And a lot of people in the comments were saying that they think there's too many clusters of buildings. That was like a pretty popular answer in the comments. Really? And because like, you know, there is some areas in the middle of the map where there's like so many small towns that like when you're waiting for the circle to come in, it seems like every squad is just in their own little town. And then it's like basically just who's getting like circle love. And so I thought that was kind of interesting. And I responded to that. I just made a video about it talking about it because he said that he's going to relay all that information to the development team. And I think the number one thing though was that the circles are the problem. And I kind of pointed out that
I agree.
Like the circle always stays on that left main side of the map.
Yeah.
Not always, but like, 98
it doesn't
out
force
of 100
people
times.
to move across the map as much.
Yeah. And then I was saying, like, you never see the circle go up to port. You never see the circle go up to winery. I'm sure it has, but like, you never see it go to these like cool locations that are pretty fun to play in. It like never heads that way. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, even like Sandhawk, you rarely see it move outside of like where but
I feel like you see it for some reason. It's like always ends on the mountain. That mountain on the top left, it's like always going in that area.
Yeah, it's
I feel
always
like
in the top left, and then it's like
it's
always crossing the river, bro. I feel like
it's either the top left or it's always ending like
right
somewhere around Paradise, in a big circle,
or boot camp, like right between them or something.
Yes, yeah. There's like a triangle of like where it normally is. It's pretty rare to see the circle end like on the bottom portion of the map for some reason. I don't know why, but like I rarely see the circle end over there.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it is. I mean,
but I know in like Erangel,
it
moves around a lot. I mean, we get excited when it ends Zarky, but like it's pretty random on Erangel. It's like all over the place.
Erangel and Miramar, I think it has the best randomization for the most part. I mean, I still think Erangel is the best map. I just wish they'd boost the loot. That's it.
Yeah, I think.
Gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, they are. So I think that will help a lot. But then, like Day said, Day's worried that they're going to add too many compounds to it, which could change the dynamic of the map. Which was an interesting take. I didn't really think about that, but it could kind of change it because now it is kind of fun. At first, it's annoying. I think we talked about this last time. Like it was annoying that there wasn't enough buildings or cover. But then as you get better at the game, it's fun because you're like, all right, we need smokes, and this is how we're going to play in the field and do this and that.
Yeah, I mean, like the game we played. Was it Friday night with Wendell? We were playing and like we were up on coming down the hill. We didn't have necessarily a great position, but we were marching down the hill. Mm-hmm. And like I always carry like 5 smokes, dude. And I threw a bunch to our right. And I think the guy must have thought I had gone that way due to the smokes. Mm-hmm. But I was still on the left with like a little bit towards you. So he like was, I guess, hiding behind a tree, and he like switched sides, thinking that I was coming from the right, and I just shot him in the butt.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that was awesome. That was great. And you know what was nuts, dude? That game, that was a Crazy Chicken Dinner.
Oh
We were playing against somebody from the stream and in their squad, which is funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, but that was actually a really crazy match because we were just fighting on like the worst situation ever, and then like out of nowhere we were like, dude, we're screwed. It's just me and Andrew left in this match on Miramar. There were so many people left, knocked. And then but then out of nowhere it became a 2v2, and then I knocked a guy. It became a 2v1. We're like, we got this, and then I got knocked, and then out of nowhere, like a roller coaster of emotions. It went from like we can't win to we're gonna win to we're gonna lose, and then you made that awesome play, and the smokes definitely confused that guy a lot. So that was well played. That was smart.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're like, oh, put shots on him. Like, I am shooting at him, but he's behind the tree. Like, it's not like he had a good angle. But yeah, I think the smokes definitely help. So like, if anything, always carrying a bunch of smokes it never hurts.
Oh, totally.
It always takes up like room in your book bag, and I think people are always like kind of like meh. But like when someone goes down, or just like at the end of the map, just throwing them out to help you move around is like huge.
Yeah, even if you think it's like a bad spot, you could use it like as a pseudo rock kind of, because it gives you like temporary
you get in
cover.
The smoke and you can just kind of like move around and reset a little bit. Like
the other day I had the most like proud smoke moment of all time where and now this has changed my whole PUBG like solo career, because there's so many times in PUBG when you're playing solo, when you are, say there's a guy like you're at a stalemate 1v1 on a guy, and like you're both at a rock. So you're like, he's at a rock, you're at a rock, and you're both kind of like looking at each other. Then if a third person enters like a third rock, you're in a triangle, and somebody's going to get third partied there because you can't like cover yourself from the triangle, right? And that I always get in those situations, and I feel like I always am the person getting third partied, and then I'm like, I'm dead. And this is happening normally probably in like the top 20. So this was happening to me in a game when I got a 3-peat dinner, and as soon as I saw it happening, I threw a smoke, like 2 smokes down to one of those sides, and then I just forgot about that side basically. And then I made it like a 1v1 with one of the triangle, and then the guy on the other side ended up getting killed. And like you can use it, it's just like a wall to shut off one whole side of you, which and I've been using that strategy more. Like if you're in a really bad spot or you're in between 2 teams, you can throw smokes down and just make it where that team can't see you anymore, and at least buys you more time, or maybe they'll get killed from somebody else. And it's they're huge, man. You need to carry your own smokes. That's definitely the biggest improvement in my game.
Extremely helpful.
It's like using them, and you see pro players like really utilize them.
Oh, they just start throwing smokes all the time.
Yeah,
I always think of that one final circle, for like an MLG game where the guys are both hiding behind a bale of hay.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, dude, there's a video of each guy. There's 2 guys in the final circle. It's a 1v1 situation.
Okay.
And there's a guy behind one bale of hay on Miramar, and the guy on the other bale of hay, and like pretty much the circle starts moving in, and it's just like whoever had like the slightly worse position had to move first. But like if he had a smoke, it would have like could have saved his, like he could have won. You know what I mean? Like that was just the caveat. Like that guy had to move first just because he was slightly closer to the circle, which kind of like sucks. But
totally,
like, if you had a smoke, you could have dropped the smoke and you could have possibly survived that. You know what I mean? Like
totally.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, no, but definitely is helpful. So that's a good tip for you guys. And somebody told us that they want more tactical talk on our podcast.
They're very tactical. We're very tactical.
Yeah, we're very tactical here in the Final Circle podcast.
A lot of communicating goes on in our games.
But yeah, to double on that, just to even like have fun and talk about like tactics. Like I won almost 20 dinners in that 1 week span, from like last Sunday to like the Sunday to Sunday last week. I probably won 20 dinners, which has to be a record for me. It was insane. And the number one reason, like so much smoke usage, and second, like all about positioning and like not going into the buildings late game, like really playing the circle right, which like obviously you don't know what that means, but the more you play, you kind of know how to like, it's almost like reading the green when you play golf. You kind of like read the circle the right way. It's hilarious. But that's been like huge, man. It's not even like, I wouldn't even say it's like gun skill. It's more just like being in the right place at the right time. And obviously it's like random when you're playing Battle Royale, but to try to put it in your favor is just huge. It helps a lot.
Yeah. I think, it's so hard to read how the circle is, but I think it's just
because it's always random. It's always random. So
I think it's important to be like versatile, that you know to move, like always playing like the pinch of the circle and just rotating a lot, because you know, once someone spots you, it's really hard to move. Like if you keep moving to
Yes.
opposite ends of the circle, it kind of makes it like, you know, they don't know where you went. It's hard for them to track you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you're just switching it up
Yeah,
because
and
then they're, you know,
I've been spending a lot of time like before I move, say like the circle's about to move or I'm gonna have to move. I think like I lay down or I make sure I'm like in cover and I hit menu and I really just think to myself like where I would be if I was like the other 10 players on this map, like around this map. And I'm like, okay, there's definitely a guy here, definitely a guy here, definitely a guy here, definitely a guy here, like probably a guy here, you know, and you just make like helping make an assumptions and then being like, I'm gonna like this. I don't know. The more you play the maps, you realize like people go this way, and people like to play the slow side of the circle. It's like a whole strategy type thing, which gets kind of fun to me. I like thinking about all that stuff.
yeah, it's tough, dude. And sometimes it is just straight up luck. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, sometimes you're just like, oh, let's go left, and you know, and sometimes a million people end up being left. Other times nobody's left. You know?
Yeah, it really is it really is all over the place. So
Yeah.
it's like luck and luck of the circle and also just luck of like what everyone else is doing too.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
it's
yeah.
so hard to read what everyone's doing when it's like a smaller circle and you have
Yeah, but you can
30.
definitely pick up on like some standard patterns that like you know people are going to be in this really popular complex, and people
Definitely.
are afraid, so they go in buildings at the end and
Yeah.
like stuff like
It's
that.
always funny to me when you're like we're running in like a super obvious spot and you're like, how are we not getting shot at right now? But like everyone you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
just,
it's
like,
crazy. You can literally
hiding in
sometimes
plain
you
sight.
just yeah, exactly. You're like that's literally what's been helping me win the game. You're like you're thinking all this strategy, and I'm like, dude, let's just run through the middle of this field, and then like everyone's in buildings so they don't shoot you. It's
Yeah, like the
crazy.
blind side of the building is to that, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like counterintuitive, and sometimes that ends up like working because everyone else is trying to think like logical, like let me get inside, let's cover, blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah, and then those people end up fighting other people that have the same idea, and then you know can't win if you're dead. So you just gotta try to stay alive.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was the first chicken dinner I'd had in a while that night, so I felt good. I was
Nice,
getting a
yeah.
lot of kills too.
And you
Um,
clutched it, man. So that
that
was good.
yeah, it was a good game. Those are good games. Then we played. I don't know what night I played. Last night, the other night. Yeah, I was getting a lot of kills. We landed in Pachinki. It's always fun to land in Pachinki, and a lot of people land there, and it's just
It's just chaos.
hot scene. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
It's
kind
pretty
of
fun.
interested to see if when they revamp the map, like how they'll revamp it. I mean, I don't think that if they do add more compounds, it may not be terrible, or maybe they're just redoing the houses. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no.
Uh,
Oh, I wanted to. Oh, keep going. Keep going with that thought though.
no, I mean, I just think that the way it is fine. If they just change up the houses and
Mhm.
loot, like it would be perfect.
Yeah,
I just love to play it all the time.
there was some leaks. It's tough to say because a lot of people were like leaking fake stuff on April Fool's
Mhm.
Day, but I think there was a leak that they're going to be adding like a bunker to Erangel, another bunker, and people were predicting it to be on that mountain underneath Hospital in Georgia Pole on the left side. There's like a random mountain over there, and there's some speculation that there's going to be some like major building changes to that map. But you know, who knows? Obviously, I think they test a lot of that stuff out, like whether it's going to work or not, and then they like you know obviously things that people find in data mines are like leftover things. They've PUBG has responded to this that like a lot of that stuff is leftover stuff from a long time ago, but people are keep data mining more and more like information about PUBG obviously and like some of these updates.
Yeah. Wait. What was? Where did they think the location would
So,
be?
so it's on Erangel. On the left-hand side of the map, there's like a mountain that is there's no grass on it. It's like a rock mountain. It's underneath Georgia Pole, underneath Hospital. There's a pretty big mountainous area right there. You'd have to maybe Google Erangel to pick it up. There's
Yeah,
nothing.
I know exactly.
It's like
that
above.
big
It's
hill.
above. It's above Gaka, and yeah,
Yep.
it's a pretty big hill. So there was like speculation I saw on a post somewhere there, and then there's this famous
Mhm.
YouTube channel called All the News is Good News, and he's the guy. He's like always leaking this information,
Yeah.
and they leaked that they saw some information about. I don't want to play this with audio, but an information about like them working on like an amphibious vehicle, like kind of like a like a Humvee, but an amphibious one.
Yeah.
And what else? There
That'd
was
be cool.
also that would be pretty cool. Let me see if scroll through here. Just like different lobby music. That's pretty basic. More zombie stuff. Potential AI. For like you can play against AI bots in a match. You know.
That'd be kind of cool, I guess, if you want to just like play on your own. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. And then there was a bunch of fake leaks, I guess, and some of them were regarding a helicopter, a Desert Eagle, C4 explosive, and all this stuff. But honestly, I feel like I've heard people talking about a helicopter before April Fool's Day, possibly being an update, and I could see maybe PUBG putting that in like a future map, you know, especially because it's in Firestorm and it's in Call of Duty. But who knows? I think that would be really fun. And
Yeah.
And also one of the things that was in this fake leak was a RPG, and I still think that has room in PUBG without being like game breaking. Obviously, like you wouldn't want to have like a million rockets, but I think we talked about this before. Like it would be fun to have an RPG that was like came with 2 shots or something, or that was super rare, or in a crate or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would be that hard. I don't think it would be that bad to have an RPG. Like, it's not. You know what I mean? Grenades aren't that terrible. Like, how much worse can an RPG be?
Yeah, well, grenades are pretty strong. So if it really was super strong, then it would be, I guess, annoying. But because there's not that many explosives in the game. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it would be that game breaking, and they could always tone it back. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's any reason that they shouldn't. But it's not like the end of the world either. If they didn't put that in, I wouldn't really miss it.
Yeah, but it would be so much fun though, dude. Imagine somehow. I mean, this would be so rude, but imagine somehow being able to do a roadblock with an RPG and the car's coming right at you.
That's fair point.
No, but I mean that would be hilarious though. I would imagine us having the rocket launcher. I mean, we would have like it would be hilarious. We would have so much fun doing that.
It would be amazing. It's just like having the DP when you're doing a roadblock.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Dude, I was so confused. This guy was spamming me with the DP today, and I'm like, what gun is that guy using, dude? Because I haven't been shot at with the DP. And I'm like, I don't know what that gun is. And he's just like laying down. Like yeah, like it felt like the grass was chunking up around me because I was hiding behind a tree. And I'm like, dude, I feel like this tree's going to fall down. I'm kidding. But luckily I ended up killing him, but me and Spooky got him.
The DP is good.
But yeah, he was putting down some crazy shots on me.
The DP is good. It has a good fire rate. It's strong. Definitely suggest it, especially if you're road blocking. Definitely pick that up because it will just take out cars.
Yeah, it definitely.
You don't even have to aim. You just gotta shoot at the car, and it'll definitely stop it.
Yeah, it definitely starts.
In like a magazine too. Like you'll finish it. So.
Yeah, it's also kind of a shame that it's only on Erangel. Like the second, it's the only other LMG gun.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, I'm surprised they wouldn't put that on. I feel like that would work pretty well on Vikendi or Miramar. Yeah, one of those two. Yeah. Is it on Miramar?
No, it's not on Miramar. I think it works well on every map, dude. Maybe not so much Sandhawk, but yeah, definitely Miramar.
Yeah, let me see.
It's not like long range, so it'd be kind of funny, but on Miramar, but at the same time, like it's still a good gun.
Yeah, I guess it's a Russian gun, so maybe that's. I just Googled it, and maybe that's why they just keep it on Erangel, but.
I guess, dude. I don't know. They don't really have necessarily a method to their madness, I think so.
I think they do try to keep certain guns like to the region for some reason, but I'm not sure.
So the G36C is to what? Vikendi? I mean, maybe that's.
Well, no, because the QBZ is like actually a Chinese gun, so like that they're keeping it. It's like an Asian gun, but like it's not China. FAMAS, yeah. But then G36. I thought the FAMAS is French, but the QBZ is actually the Type 95. But the FAMAS is a French rifle, right? If that's not French, then I don't know what is French, dude. Yeah. So actually, that's funny. I didn't
French.
Yeah, so French. Oh, I was talking about this in the stream the other day. I thought this was really cool. So FAMAS is French, but you see this, like, you know how in America, all of our weapons are like M16, M4, M this, M that.
Yeah.
And then in China, it's all type, like the Type 99, Type 95. There's like they're all types, which I thought was pretty cool. And I didn't notice that until recently when we were playing Battlefield 1. That all of the Asian weapons are or whatever. I don't want to be like politically incorrect here, but like all of the Chinese weapons are Type 97.
Yeah. And now I'm like Googling it, Type 99.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
Scout, Type 99 rifle. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. And by the way, the G36C is from Germany.
Is it?
It looks like it's German.
G36C, and like Vikendi's supposed to be in that like region, right? I guess it's supposed to be in Hungary or
the
like
Heckler
that area.
And Koch. Yeah, it's Germany. Yeah. Place of origin, Germany.
The G36C is such a dirty gun. Like it looks so cool. It almost looks like a toy though, but yeah, it looks pretty sweet.
What is the Scar 98? Is the Scar 98 an American gun?
Scar. Well, Scar 98, Scar H, you mean? Or Scar L. Scar. Is
FN Scar.
It's a Belgium weapon. It's an FN Scar. Interesting. And that's the FNFFAL. So the FNFAL, is that a Belgian weapon as well?
I guess.
Yeah, so there you go. So any gun that, like the FN moniker,
What-
might be Belgian.
What does the M and M4 stand for?
It's just, I think they're just machine gun.
M4
I think
carbine.
I think it's just
Right.
stands for like or modular weapon or machine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, there's so many.
Yeah,
There's
modular
what
weapon
there's
system carbine.
there's then there's like the heavy weapons, like what is it, like the MG or MG42. Right?
Yeah, that's the. I think that's because it's 42 caliber, right?
I don't know, but there's
I
just
don't
so many like I'm blanking on them right now,
Awesome
but
gun
there's
freak
a
in the
lot of
comments.
oh yeah. Well, MP5, you know, the M9. There's like all these. I just thought it was kind of cool. M4 is the shotgun though, so that's interesting. There's just like so many. There's a Benelli M4 carbine.
Oh, the MG42 is a German gun. It's
Oh, is it?
Nazi Germany.
Oh, is it? Oh, no way.
MG42, shortened from.
I was
German.
wrong.
Maschinengewehr 42 or
Whoops.
machine gun 42.
Well, it doesn't hold
It's
up
a
all the way then.
7.9.
Sorry, guys.
7.92 or 57 millimeter Mauser.
I thought I was close, but there definitely is something going. There definitely is something going.
M469
M469.
or
The M24, the M249, the M249. Yeah, M24, M249. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So yeah, there's something going on there, and it makes sense. But I just didn't know this was a thing until a couple years ago. I mean,
Yeah.
why would you really? You wouldn't know like how China names their weapons, but because we were playing Battlefield 1 all the time, there was already, and then I was kind of putting it together. I'm like, there's so many types machine guns. There's Type 98, Type 99. There's like a sniper rifle that's like Type 100. That's right, Type 100. What was the Type 100 in? That was in
That was in Battlefield 1.
Oh, that was in World War II, Call of Duty World War II, Type 100.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
it was like the side loading gun.
Yeah. So I'm off on a little tangent here, but if you guys like FPS games, then hopefully you find that kind of interesting because, you know, I definitely, obviously me and you aren't like gun experts,
people,
but
yeah.
you know, I enjoy that stuff and I've been shooting before, so I like it from an amateur perspective at least.
Yeah, it makes it fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's
And a lot of
just
these games do a pretty good job of like being pretty realistic to it, and PUBG especially is like very true to a lot of that stuff. And I guess they're trying to be with the regions that they're using the guns in, but
Yeah, keep it somewhat trued up. It's just I mean, I wonder what map they would do next and what gun, but I'm not gonna worry about the maps.
yeah, I feel like honestly, I feel like it would be fun to see a new map like at some point this summer. Like I know this might be early for you, but I'm saying like anywhere between like June, July, August, something like that. I feel like it'd be fun to see another map. But if they
So
don't do
you
it, I think that's okay too. I
Would you
be
want
okay
a
with that
smaller
new
map?
one.
Like
Or if they
more of a
did,
Sandy Hawk
or if
style?
they came with a separate zombies map, I feel like that'd be fun too.
Mhm.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if it was, something different, like bigger or smaller. But I think another Sanhok size map would be pretty cool. And then but then again though, I feel like they have an issue though because if they made another smaller size map, I feel like a lot of people would just play those maps, and the other maps would kind of die out. So I think they kind of have a dilemma on their hands. Not because I know a majority of hardcore fans like Erangel and Miramar, but I think a lot of people like the faster time. And now that Firestorm, the game is only 20 minutes, like a lot of people I've been talking to, they're like, dude, I really like the faster 20 minutes, like instead of 30, 40-minute games, 35-minute games.
Would
But
they limit the game on Firestorm?
no, I think it's just because it's smaller. It's the circle
It
starts
forced the
off.
circle, yeah.
The circle's already there when you drop.
Yeah.
But then again, would change Battle Royale. The point of Battle Royale is that it is like a 30-minute game. So I don't know. But
Yeah. I think a lot of it is like, you know, it's supposed to be a little bit drug out to make there's a little bit more tension when, you know.
yeah, and even though like League of Legends, man, that's a great game, and those games last 30 minutes plus sometimes. So like they used to last almost like an hour. So
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's like necessary for this style of gameplay. It's not a team deathmatch that takes 10 minutes.
Yeah. Or even 5 minutes, like Team Deathmatch for Call of Duty. I think it's
Yeah,
only like 5 minutes, 6
yeah,
minutes.
sometimes it just took that long. But I'd be happy with almost like anything. I'm not saying they need to do another one. Ooh, I just dropped something, so sorry if you guys heard that. But it's another small map to me would be pretty cool. And there's rumors about like a Venice map or a map with like way more water, but a lot of those seem like they're just speculation and there's like no hard like data mined information on that.
Typical.
So typical stuff there. There's a lot of that stuff is like people really like people misread stuff. Like someone will do concept art like, hey, I made art for like a fake map, and then people will like be like, this is a leak, and then I look into it, I'm like, that's not a leak, dude, that's just somebody like drew that map,
You know, like a crayon.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's like good artists out there that, and you know, PUBG takes that stuff sometimes. Funny, like they'll, and other games do too. They'll take like art from people and like, you know, or hire those people they find online.
They need all the help they can get.
Yeah, well, who knows?
I wish I should really try to dedicate myself to playing PC and trying to get better at playing on PC. You know, just to, I don't know.
Well, it'd be good to just learn.
First.
Well, that too, man. That too. I feel like definitely probably hinders like my. I mean, I definitely enjoy the like. I mean, obviously we like console better, at least at this point in time. I've always been a console fan, but
yeah,
because all the news goes to PC first. Like I definitely miss out on a lot of like potential views and like kind of late information. I mean, obviously I'm looking at the information as soon as it comes out, but like it's hard for me to test it and go on there because I stink at PUBG and the PC, and like, you know, it's hard to test out games. I tried to test out the UMP 45 and I couldn't get it. I got one kill, but it wasn't with the UMP, and then by the time I found the UMP, I died. So like, it's hard for me because I just stink with the mouse and keyboard. I guess I could plug in my Xbox controller just for the time being, but I don't feel like setting it up.
I feel like though when you do that, it defeats the point of being on PC.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you, man. I just feel like if you're playing on PC, just play on PC.
It just makes it easier.
Yeah.
You know, I think after a while, like if you switch it around, it's just get used to having the keyboard and get it over with.
Yeah, and now people on PC are making like such great content because they have like the replay editors and stuff like that, and they can go in and do like cinematic shots and do like cool things to be like, hey, I was in this situation, and they're like doing really cool replays of it, and like they also have like crazy custom games. Oh, by the way, yeah, we should talk about this. Did you see? I don't know if you saw it, but did you see Wacky Jackie's Death Race video?
No. Oh yeah, I did.
Where they're driving around Miramar.
I did. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, it's definitely worth a watch. She did a thing. It was pretty fun. And like, again, I kind of want to try this on console, but we just don't have the options, I don't think. And like, it would probably crash the whole game. That is not a car. But he must have set the spawn to more vehicles, because unless they just really got all the vehicles that fast, there were so many vehicles he had lined up, and they raced around Miramar, and they had some points set up where there was like a trap or like a roadblock, and you were getting shot at, and they had a thing like whoever the last one to live, and people were getting pushed off the road, and people are exploding, and it was pretty fun to watch. And again, stuff like that would be really cool. Like I feel like a fun mode like that, I've been saying that since the beginning, that it'd be really fun to have some kind of like race mode where you couldn't get out of the car and you started off with like equipment or ammo, and then like you drove around and like tried to shoot at each other, because some of those moments driving in the game are so much fun. They're so ridiculous, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree.
We've had so many fun times driving around PUBG and shooting at other cars and roadblocks and setting up that stuff. But console really just doesn't have any custom game options, and I don't even know if PlayStation has custom games yet, if they ever updated that. I have no idea, which is kind of crazy too.
I don't know either. I mean, we haven't really followed up with that.
Yeah, no, I had to ask Day because but I don't know if he goes on PlayStation anymore. But there's a couple people in the stream that are from PlayStation, so I'll have to ask them this week if I remember tomorrow if it has custom games or not. But yeah, that to me would be fun, and I'm definitely going to be running some custom games soon now that the Survivor Pass is over, and like waiting for the next Survivor Pass, which again probably going to be sometime in May. So in the meantime, yeah, what are you going to do? The pass is over now. Are you going to, my voice is like almost cracking today. I'm still getting over being sick. So sorry guys, if I sound different today, my throat is a little like extra dry. Yeah. So are you going to be playing PUBG still? Or are you going to like try to spend more time on another game like Firestorm or Apex? We haven't played Firestorm yet, me and you together.
No, yeah, I wouldn't mind. I was going to say, I wouldn't mind playing some Firestorm, change it up a little bit. It's a lot of people like it. It's getting good reviews. It's just not. I just don't think it's going to usurp anything. You know, it's not going to replace Apex. It's not going to replace Fortnite. It's definitely not going to replace PUBG.
Yeah.
You know, I saw like Dr. Disrespect was like, I like this. It's like an optimized PUBG, but it doesn't play like PUBG, so
No, it really doesn't.
it doesn't. I think he's just being, but I get it. Like it's actually like more of a realistic shooter as compared to the other games that like
Yeah.
I listed, like Fortnite and Apex. So I get that feeling. Hopefully they fix that volume issue though, where I feel like someone's like running on top of me for a couple
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
But I would definitely be down to play that. Switch it up a little bit. But like I enjoy still playing PUBG as long as it's like running okay. You know what I mean? There's days where I don't. I'm over it, but I definitely like to play Firestorm for a little bit just to switch it up.
Yeah, the game is a lot of fun, but like we said, we had a whole podcast dedicated to Firestorm and the launch of that. If you guys are interested, like us giving our initial impressions, but I played it the other day again after that, so I played it like a lot the first 2 days, so I could get like a quick like review, first impressions out, like initial of what I thought, and then for the podcast, and then I stopped playing, and then we played for like a whole day the other day in squads and like on the stream, and you know it's a fun game, and it's just like I don't have like the itch to go back to because I just feel like I feel like it needs like a big patch to bring some more stuff in and like ramp it up a little bit more. Like it just feels like they literally took Battlefield and kind of just flipped it over to that, and it just doesn't seem like too like Call of Duty at least felt different like with Blackout because they had different things and the helicopter. You're like, oh, this. I mean, I guess Battlefield has that too, but I don't really know where I'm going at that point. So sorry, but it just feels like there's not like something too. It's kind of like going back to Call of Duty multiplayer or something. It's like, oh, I've done this before. Like I played Battlefield. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of Battlefield, so I get it. I don't know, but
yeah, it is definitely still like Battlefield, but like smaller squads.
Yeah,
and no respawn.
yeah, but it still is a great game. Still is a great game. Don't get me wrong. And since we were talking about that, let's pull up. We do this every podcast that we can remember to do it. We pull up the Twitch stats and just see what's going on Twitch, like what people are watching. And again, this isn't. I always like to preface this with saying that this obviously isn't showing the player base or the health. It's just kind of showing like the who's watching what game, and obviously this is very highly determined on who's streaming and what game they're streaming because there's a lot of popular people out there that demand a lot of viewers.
Yeah, for sure.
So right now the first three, and this is rare. This is super rare. It's Grand Theft Auto and Fortnite, and recently in the top three, and then just chatting. Recently the top three is always Apex Legends, League of Legends, and Fortnite. So Fortnite's still in that area, but so Grand Theft Auto's in first, and let's see why. That's because Summit1G is streaming, and he has 50,000 viewers. No, Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, so, yeah, I know. I saw that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so imagine having 50,000 viewers, dude. I can't believe that. That's just insane. And then Fortnite is in second with 156,000 viewers. So let's see who like the biggest person is there. It's Tfue and Nick Merckx and Courage JD. I've seen some of these guys before streaming. And then just chatting, like I said, League of Legends is in fourth. Apex is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Counter-Strike is after Apex in 8th. Rainbow Six Siege. And then PUBG is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're in 13th place right now. It's PUBG. Good old PUBG. And Choco Taco is in the lead with 6,000 viewers.
Oh, he has a lot. I feel like I checked before we started this, and he only had like 3,500.
Dang.
He must be like really taking advantage of like not many big streamers like streaming PUBG. Not that he's not a big streamer, but like there's people that still want to watch PUBG, so they watch Choco Taco, and he's a great streamer. So
no, I definitely. I mean, that's what helps a lot of people grow. You know, if you're like, there's not many people playing.
He's consistent. And I think he's funny to watch sometimes. He's like a good player, but he does like funny stuff.
Really? I've never watched him before, so I'll have to check him out.
He's not bad. He's good. I think he's good.
What's crazy is looking at PUBG and how many people aren't English, and I don't mean this any disrespect to anybody. Obviously, like there's people play all over the world, but like there's not that many English streams. So I find that kind of interesting too. There's a lot of people. It just shows you that PUBG is really popular like globally, but in America, I just don't think it's that popular or as popular as some other games.
Yeah.
You know, as like Fortnite and Apex and Battlefield, at least right now. Which is kind of interesting.
I haven't played Apex in a while either too, but
Yeah, I wonder how if this is a thing that you have if you have to be like a Twitch partner or how people have this. But some people underneath their stream it shows like roughly how many players are left, like 0 to 25, 25 to 50, and that's pretty cool because then you could like, oh, okay, this person's like in top 25. Let me click on their stream. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's definitely. They have. I'm just looking at it too, and I'm just like, I was just looking at the top, just chatting. I guess we could just chat on our podcast and whatever.
No, we could definitely podcast live. We could. I mean, I thought about doing that. We could definitely podcast live. I just don't know like that.
Not together.
Well, we're not together, but yeah, we could have something in the background, or like I said, I could have one of my monitors on there, like streaming. But I don't know. We could always do that. But for right now, I feel like it's fine the way we do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
As the podcast grows, we could definitely do that eventually.
Dude, this is too funny right now. I'm looking at the podcast one, and one of them is Dean Cain fielding questions for Patreon subs. Dean Cain is the dude that was like the Superman from the TV show. Remember that dude? And he was like the Guinness Book of World Records host. Dude, if you Google him, he's like, it's like such a random thing. He's like hosting a podcast on fucking Twitch.
Well, where is he though? I'm just chatting. How far down?
Yeah, he is like in like 8th place. So
1, 2, 3.
It'll say Dean Cain. Like
I know. I'm looking. I don't see him though.
Bleh.
And I'm in just chatting.
No. Podcast.
Oh, there's a podcast section of Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought just chatting was the podcast. Where's the podcast?
No. Just chatting is like people watching Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro right now. Like, come on.
Oh, that's whack. So they're really just hanging. Like, I thought it was also a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, so where's the podcast one?
Down. It's down a little bit. It's kind of near PUBG.
Oh, I didn't know that. Let me see. PUBG special events. PUBG.
Oh,
I might just honestly have to control F this because I don't see it.
Dude, there's
talk shows and podcasts. Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's an ASMR one, bro.
Oh my God, Dean Cain. Yeah, I know who that guy is. Oh my God.
I told you, dude.
What? He's on Twitch randomly? That's hilarious, dude. Honestly, I would never think of this guy as Superman, but he was what show did he host? You're right. He hosted.
I think it was like literally it was the Guinness Book of World Record. He held the show. He's like, "Hey, welcome to the home of the Guinness Book of World Records." There's like the weird, like freak stuff in there. And
yes.
He hosted that shit.
No, Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Ripley's Believe It or Not, bro.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, now he's fielding questions from Patreon subs. What the fuck?
Dude, that's crazy, man. Why does that guy? I mean, I guess maybe he's doing. I don't want to hate, but
I know, whatever.
Yeah.
It's funny.
You know what's crazy, dude? Is that? Oh, keep going. You were gonna say?
No, I'm just looking at like the just chatting now, and I'm like, there's like people like literally. There's a dude watching Joe Rogan. It says Joe Bro Rogan versus Ben Shapiro. Like, isn't that like content? Like taking people's content is like restreaming it over Twitch.
And unless they're just talking about the podcast episode, they could be just doing.
No,
that.
He was like playing it. It looks like.
Wow. It's weird, man. And that's what's crazy. I mean, good and bad about Twitch is that like you can do something like that, and like on YouTube you would be like banned immediately, but on Twitch like it part of your video can get sectioned out, but they'll mute like a part of your video if you're playing something too like outrageous, like a Drake song or something. But like that's after the fact, like live, like you're pretty much good to go. Like on YouTube, you get shut down immediately if you were doing that. Which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Sometimes it's like it's a good thing on small cases, but like you don't want to be just replaying Joe Rogan's podcast. So
that's literally what he's doing. It's just like
it's kind of crazy.
Oh, this is a dude from like the Young Turks or whatever. He's just like talking to people about it too. I guess he's like playing excerpts and then
maybe he's just playing
ranting.
Yeah,
dude. God.
Probably something like that. I just started listening to that episode, Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan. I'm like a half hour in. I was listening to it before we started the podcast. It was okay.
I wish this guy, Hassan Abi, would go on Joe Rogan's podcast.
I've heard of that guy's name before, yeah.
He's like in the Young Turks or whatever. Dude, the whole thing is bullshit. All that stuff is all bullshit, bro.
Can be, man. A lot of just talking, but I guess that's kind of what we're doing too, though, man. Just a lot of talking out there.
Yeah, preaching.
But we're not trying to be like politically.
We're not trying to change people's minds. We all know PUBG is broken as fuck.
Yeah. PUBG, as I called it today.
PUBG. This is poop. This is
But
poopy.
yeah, we had a ridiculous poll today on the stream. That was just so
I know,
funny.
I voted.
That stream was lit this morning, dude. And when I first started the stream, I came in hot with that poll.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, it like there was so many people popping the stream, like weighing in on it, and everyone was cracking up. Like it was like the most viewers I've had, and it was like the
Oh,
poop
really?
stream. Well, not really, but to start off the
Poop
stream, it was good. Yeah, like immediately like 40 people were in the stream, and like that's usually. It was today was concurrent for a long time, like around 30, which is pretty good because normally it's been around like 20 concurrent, and it's been creeping
Yeah.
up to like 30 plus concurrent viewers, which is pretty good. But
Yeah,
still
I
need to
mean,
get
it's
that a little
definitely-
higher.
Yeah, I mean, I was noticing that a couple weeks ago. And I was thinking like, at first you were at like 10. Now I've noticed you were at 20, and now it's getting to close to
Yeah.
30.
What's
Yeah, it
up is
definitely takes time.
a lot of people like are in and out. You know, like some people now,
Yeah.
like a lot of old regulars are don't watch anymore, so that hurts because then it hurts the viewership. But I get it. Like
Yeah,
I don't
where are
watch.
you guys?
Yeah, where are you guys? Where did you guys go? But I get it. Like I don't watch Joe
Crowbar
Rogan's-
Jones, where are you?
Yeah,
Crowbar Jones.
exactly.
Agent Crowbar Jones.
Yeah, he came in today, but
Oh,
yeah,
never
like,
mind.
but yeah, but again, like he doesn't come in as much anymore, and it's
Yeah.
no disrespect to him, but like I don't listen to Joe Rogan every day, so I get it. But then
Yeah.
that hurts because like new people come in now, like there's a lot of new viewers, and then the old viewers leave, so it's like it's tough to keep
Yeah.
to maintain it.
No, it definitely rotates, and I think that's just the flow of things. People move on games and that.
Yeah,
so.
a lot of that too. A lot of people are like, dude, a lot of original people are like, yeah, man, I just don't play PUBG anymore. So I get that. I get that.
I get it too.
Mike
for
G,
sure.
Dakota Riggin, and all them.
Yeah, Dakota. Yeah, he seems to play a lot of
They play a lot of Apex right now. And they
Apex,
were
so
playing a
he was
lot of Call of
playing a lot
Duty
of-
before that.
Yeah, yeah. I just Apex. It's like, did you see that meme that was like people finally getting too good for normal average player to play Apex? or something
Yeah,
like
dude,
that.
that hit me right in the feels, man, because it's so hard switching these games up, you know?
Dude, it's. I watched a video of Apex, and like a guy had like the thing with the grappling hook or whatever, and the guy like grappling hook and like jumped over a small little building and then hit the ground, slid, and shotgunned the dude and won the game. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
I was like,
I've seen people do crazy stuff with that grappling hook, and again, it's like the more you play a game, you just get so proficient with it, and then it's hard to just hop in out of nowhere, especially in a game when you have one life and you're playing with people who like all they've been doing is playing Apex Legends. And obviously, I do that
All
to
day.
people in PUBG. Like if you are just picking up PUBG and you run into me, yes, you can kill me. I'm not the best player, but like I play PUBG all the time. Like it's not going to be like it's going to suck for you if you run into a bunch of me's that are like always playing PUBG all the time, you know? So
oh,
it's
you're
like-
not yet. It's a completely like fish out of water type of feeling.
Yeah, it kind of stinks. You know what's funny is too is I played Fortnite for a couple of games during April Fool's Day, and like I went in there, and what was crazy is there was something wrong with the stream, so I just stood in a shed for the whole time, and I got like top 5. And I was like, dude, I didn't loot. I had one gun,
Oh, wow.
and I was like, dude, it's just funny because in any battle royale game you can just hide to like the top 5. Which is
Pretty much
if
if you're in
you
the circle.
if you have good circle love, or like which I did, I guess. And then I was like, let me just play one or two more to like troll some people. And I played, and I was just getting annihilated by people. And I'm like, dude, I have no idea how to play this game anymore. Like, and not that I ever played it that much, but I just had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah. And
So it's
I was
tough.
someone I talked to at work I work with was like kind of just saying they're over it. There's just too many changes. And I think that's hard when you're making a lot of changes. Like they add things in, take it out. He's like, it's just that's kind of the gist of it. I mean, I'm sure there's more to it, but he was just like,
Yeah.
it just was over for now. I'm like, I get it, man. You get bored of things too. It just gets stale.
Yeah, I saw a commercial for Fortnite the other day, and on YouTube, and I was like, "What is this game, dude?" It was like a, I guess they built this bubble, and the clip is like this guy flying around in a bubble, and then he goes into like an arcade.
Yeah.
I mean, a pinball machine kind of thing, and he's in this bubble, like bubble boy
Yeah.
thing, and I'm like, dude, this looks like this could be like a arcade game for like 10-year-olds on like Xbox I've never heard of before. Like it just looks so there's like no guns involved, which is fine, and I think they do a great job Fortnite, but it was like it's just so out
Yeah.
there. It was kind of fun looking, but like so not what it was before that I could I totally get that if you're not into
Yeah,
that
he
stuff.
said it's changed a lot to him. And I was like, really? I didn't really. I'm like, PUBG is pretty much the same broken game, or like,
Yeah,
same
and
game.
and while that's
Yeah.
changed a lot, PUBG is pretty much the same.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like I think a good thing at the same time because too
Yeah, yeah.
much change is just as bad as no change in
No,
my
Fortnite
opinion.
definitely. I mean, I still think. I mean, who knows? I wonder what the numbers are if they're still the most popular game. But they definitely, I think, went a little too fast. They probably could have slowed down a little bit. But hey, man,
Mm.
if it wasn't what they like, it wouldn't be the same if they didn't do what they did. So you can't take it back. You know?
Yeah, I mean, got to make that money while you're hot. Can't blame them for that.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think that they're like gonna get crazy. Like, remember they were opening up the developer thing to compete with Steam. I think that's gonna be like where they hurt themselves, possibly.
Yeah, yeah. They could have just left it where it's at. But who knows? I mean, maybe it's a big risk.
Yeah,
But if it takes off, then it'll
yeah.
pay off,
I
pay
mean, you
out.
gotta
But
make risks for sure. But yeah, it's true. It could.
I agree with you. That's definitely the riskier of things they've done.
Yeah, because it's just like you're one video game company and you're gonna just try to compete with whatever a Steam, which is a well-established company, and then I guess technically Microsoft too.
Yeah,
But that's
and
up to them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good
And
luck.
Sony, I guess, if you're talking about like PlayStation and
Yeah,
content distribution.
just content distribution in general. Yeah, it's just tough. It's definitely a tough game, like a tough gamble. Because then you
Yeah,
could just have other companies that just start hosting it themselves too. It just you never know.
for sure, for sure. Um, so I guess I mean that pretty much covers a lot of the stuff going on right now, man. We talked about like the updates. We talked
Yeah.
about not yeah, like some updates going on, future things coming to PUBG, a lot of current stuff. Um, I wanted to just ask you: is there any news, like anything new on E3? You booked your hotel? Did you get all that stuff figured out?
Yeah. So I booked my hotel.
I think you told me that last time we saw each other, right? Did you have it booked last time I saw you?
I booked it.
I
I
think
don't
you were
know.
like in the
Yeah,
process
maybe.
of doing it.
Yeah, I booked it. I think like right after we talked, I was like, I'm just gonna book this now before I forget, and I booked
Yeah.
it or the next day.
Mhm.
Um, maybe yeah. So it's booked for May. No, Jesus Christ, June 10th through the 13th. So if I'll be in LA. So if any of the people listening to this are in LA and want to get dinner and you're not gonna murder me,
Wow, let's
I'll be
go.
there. I know Spain is out there. I'm gonna get dinner with Spain.
Nice, nice, nice.
So
I'm looking at the participating companies right now. So we got
yeah,
Funko, Game Informer, Game Kit, Game Loft. Just reading through some things. A bunch of names I don't recognize. IGN, Calypso I've heard of. Konami we all know. Control Freaks, Logitech, Microsoft,
yeah. Microsoft has their own plate,
Bionic,
like a studio
Nintendo.
across the street.
Oh
So
really?
you get in for with E3 badge. Yeah, they have like a building right there, so they just host it in their own building.
Oh that's cool.
Yeah, kind of weird, right?
Yeah, that is pretty sweet. Might as well because they probably have so much stuff going on
Well,
with
they
that.
save it. Yeah, they save money and they build like a huge setup. So
Oh, I see. 10 cent. Interesting.
yeah,
10 cent's gonna be
I mean,
there.
there's a lot. I mean, the thing
Twitch.
is
Wow,
it's
this is pretty
crazy. It's
crazy.
like there's a lot of companies there, and that's why I was like
I
a
can't
little
believe
crazy.
Sony. Yeah.
Sony's just not going, and they didn't do anything.
Every company's literally here. Sega, all these things. What I was wondering is probably not is PUBG or Bluehole going to be there, but I don't see their name. I don't think.
Yeah, well,
That'd be cool if
I
they
don't know.
announced something like there while you were there, right? Like
That'd be cool.
something PUBG
I
related.
wish they
But
showed up. That would be nice.
yeah,
I can
let
like
me go to B.
can bring my complaints in person.
Nah, yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see Bluehole.
Imagine I went up to their booth. It was just like, yeah. So about Xbox,
Yeah.
I have some thoughts.
But then again, I mean, Microsoft. If it's something console related, Microsoft could announce it on behalf of PUBG, so you never know.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I could bring my complaints there too. 'Cause,
Yeah. I wonder
I'll
if
be
that
in the
guy.
video.
I wonder if
I
Nico
got that
Bahari
video
would be
for
there. I
that.
don't know if you know who that is, but he was like one of the
Who's
main
that?
people. Nico Bahari.
Nah.
He was one of the main people. He was like the let's read his title on Twitter. He is the executive producer for Xbox, and
Yeah.
he was like the main like figurehead for like bringing like PUBG over. I think like overseeing like PUBG launching. So like
Yeah.
he was always posting about PUBG and like giving away free
No, he's
codes
not.
and doing all this stuff. No, and then literally like after like maybe 6 months ago, he was like, all right, now that PUBG is like 1.0, he's like, now I'm going to move on to like another project, but like, there you go. And so I think like, but he used to live stream PUBG every week and answer people's questions and
God.
bring on like developers and stuff. And then he used to be the one that would leak all the updates. Like he would be like, okay, today, like this update is coming next week,
Yeah.
and not leak it, but he would be like doing all that stuff. And he's pretty big at Xbox. So he might be at E3 actually.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, Phil Spencer is like the head of Xbox. I
Mhm.
could just go to him and be like, dude, this game's still broken. What's up?
They probably give you.
I got the VIP badge, bro. It says access to
Yeah.
CEOs.
Well, now the best part though would be like to be at a bar with them and then drinking and being like, "Dude, we got PUBG and it was so fucked up. I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you like the real story, like how they probably had to help them bring it to Xbox and how it was like a disaster. Like there's probably some funny stories behind the scenes of like how like hard that was to get it over because we know it was their first game on console, and I'm sure there was a lot of issues. Not an
easy feat, but yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'll be out there all that week, and then I'll be in San Francisco for the long weekend. Actually, I'll be in Seattle from the 6th to the 10th. Then I'm flying out the 10th to LA, and then I'm leaving LA that Thursday at the end of E3 and going to San Francisco, and then I come back to New Jersey that Monday.
Dude, that's gonna be a great trip, man. I'm happy for
like
you.
14 days.
Dude,
yeah,
first of all, huge trip. You definitely need a vacation, man. You deserve it. That's 100% for sure. And you said you've never been to San Francisco before, so that's going to be a good time.
Yeah,
always fun.
New city.
Yeah, being somewhere new. A lot of stuff to do there. It's a solid place to visit. Like I said, I think it's repeat value or living there is debatable because like there's not that much going on in my opinion. I'm sure there is, but going there for like a couple days or a week is so much fun. So
yeah, I think it would be fun to do just to check out for a long weekend. So
nice, man.
Thursday through Sunday night. You know what I mean? It's perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. So. That's going to be really exciting. I'm stoked for you.
Yeah, got a nice little lot of flying. That's the only thing. 4 flights in 14 days. But
yeah, no, hey man, I've been there. I do this. I kind of do that when I travel. So it gets a little ridiculous, but it's kind of fun, man. It's part of the adventure, you know.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Nice, man.
It'll work out. So if anyone's out there and wants to hang out, let me know. Monday I'll have not much to do. I'm just gonna register and then go hang out in the city. So
nice. Well, I'd love to do like a quick it'd be fun to check in with you and do like a really mini podcast after E3 or something before you go away.
Yeah, I'll have I could do it while in there. I'll have a computer with me.
Yeah, because I definitely do not want to take up any of your vacation time, but it'd be fun to catch up with you after E3 just to see what it was like.
Yeah, well, I mean, the nice thing is that like 10 o'clock at night, it'll only be 7 o'clock there. Or no, sorry.
Oh, true.
It's vice versa. Yeah, I mean, you'll be late. It'll be late here.
No, later here, earlier there.
But I mean, we can figure it out. It's not that I'm going to be. I mean, I'm sure like one of the days I'll probably just be, when I get back to the hotel, I'll probably just, order food and hang out because I'll just be a little beat. It's going to be a lot of walking, I'm sure. So
no, for sure. Definitely going to be beat.
It's going to be a lot of walking that week, those weeks in general. So.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, we should definitely do a little podcast when I get to the hotel room or something. I'll have one of my laptops with me, Yeah. It may not be 100% the nice quality we have now, but it will definitely be fun to do an update. And I mean, I could send you some videos and everything.
Yeah, it'd be sick. That'd be fun, man.
Yeah.
So sounds good, dude. All right, and I guess that wraps it up, right?
Yeah. All right. I'm good.
Sweet, man. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to episode 18 of the Final Circle podcast. We appreciate all the support for everybody that actually left a review or 5 stars on iTunes. We thank you. You don't have to leave a full review. We know it's like annoying, but if you guys go over there and just can hit 5 stars, we appreciate that. Or if you're listening to this on YouTube, like the video, all that stuff always helps out a lot. And tell your friends, tell your family. Just kidding around, but thank you guys.
Tell everybody.
All right. Thank you for making it into the Final Circle with us.
Damn.
Wow.
See, I'll let you finish up. I let you talk, and I was waiting, and then you said it. So,
Sorry, man. All right, hugs and kisses, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.